The WWE Universe has been blindsided, again. But this time, it's not about a fake injury. It's not about a money-in-the-bank briefcase or a hidden alliance. This is about betrayal on a level we haven't seen in decades. Because Seth Rollins didn't fake an injury. He didn't hide behind crutches. He wasn't scheming from the shadows. No, this time, the man known as the Visionary was left behind. Not by his enemies, but by the man he trusted the most. Paul Heyman. It was supposed to be a new era. An alliance forged in strategy and ambition. Seth Rollins had finally agreed to let Paul Heyman guide his career, turning Raw into an empire of ruthless dominance. Together, they recruited rising monsters, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, built a faction designed to bury the bloodline once and for all. Seth was promised the throne. Promised the future. But then Roman Reigns made a call. And everything changed. Heyman didn't hesitate. In a move that shocked even his own recruits, Paul Heyman abandoned Seth Rollins live on Raw. Not with a dramatic speech. Not with an attack. But with a subtle, cold betrayal. When Braun and Bronson launched an unprovoked assault on Seth in the ring, Heyman didn't stop it. He didn't even flinch. He just walked away, smiling. Seth Rollins vanished after that night. Rumors swirled, hospitalizations, mental breakdowns, retirement. WWE remained silent. So did Becky Lynch. So did everyone. Until now. Tonight, the arena is flooded with tension. Paul Heyman stands at the center of the ring, flanked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, his new weapons of destruction. He takes the mic slowly, savoring the booze like fine wine. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And I serve only one king. The one who never needed to be acknowledged, because he was never forgotten. The lights go dark. Roman Reigns appears, not live, but on the Titantron. His voice cold. Calculated. Dangerous. I didn't return for revenge. I returned because Seth forgot his place. Then, the unthinkable. The screen glitches. And a pre-recorded video appears. Not from Roman. Not from Solo. But from someone standing in the parking garage. The camera pans slowly, revealing Seth Rollins. Black hoodie. Broken voice. And one message. I trusted you, Paul. I gave you everything. But now? I'm not coming back for the ring. I'm not coming back for revenge. I'm coming back to erase you. Cut to chaos. Security races down the corridors backstage. The production truck is locked down. Paul Heyman's face turns pale in real time. This isn't a scripted return, this is a declaration of war. Suddenly, the crowd explodes as Seth Rollins appears from the audience, hoodie torn off, eyes wild. He doesn't walk to the ring, he charges it. Braun and Bronson step forward, but Seth doesn't care. He flies through them like a man possessed, landing shot after shot. Heyman flees. Roman is nowhere to be found. And then, Solo Sikoa's music hits. But he's not here to help anyone. He walks to the ring, stares down Seth, then looks over to Braun and Bronson, and nods. The three men step aside. And Seth Rollins, breathing like a madman, glares at Heyman escaping through the crowd. Blood dripping from his mouth. A microphone in his hand. You didn't just make a mistake, Paul. You made history. Fade to black. The war isn't between bloodline factions anymore. It's not about titles or dominance. It's about legacy and revenge. Seth Rollins isn't fighting to be champion. He's fighting to burn WWE to the ground and rebuild it from the ashes. And this time, there are no allies. Only enemies. The camera pans through the packed arena in Hartford, Connecticut. Signs wave. Chants echo. But there's no music playing. No pyro. Just an uneasy tension humming through the air. WWE Raw isn't opening with a match tonight. It's opening with a reckoning. Michael Cole's voice trembles with gravity. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness is not a return. It's a warning. The lights go out. A single spotlight slams down on the ring, and standing dead center is Paul Heyman. No music. No entrance. Just silence. He's wearing a tailored black suit, tie loosened, eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights. But his smirk, unshaken. In one hand, a microphone. In the other? A small stack of documents. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. The crowd instantly explodes in boos. But Heyman doesn't flinch. I have stood beside warriors. Legends. Icons. I have guided champions. And yet somehow, every few years, a foolish soul thinks he's too smart for Paul Heyman. That he can outplay me. That he can outlast me. He raises the stack of papers into the air. These are the final termination clauses for the Seth Rollins agreement. Effective immediately. Gasps echo. I didn't fire him, Heyman says, voice slick with venom. I freed him. He smirks. You see, Seth Rollins was never a visionary. He was a virus. Infecting my plans. Polluting the product. He begged, to lead this new generation. And like a fool, I said yes. I let him recruit monsters. I let him build. And then I watched him crumble. Heyman points toward the ramp. And now, I present to you the future of WWE. The real future. Braun Breaker storms onto the stage, shoulders square, jaw clenched, followed by Bronson Reed. Their presence feels nuclear. But it's not the power that scares people. It's the silence. These aren't hype men. These are hitmen. And Heyman has weaponized them. Together, Heyman shouts, "We are the tribunal." Before he can continue, the Titantron flickers. The feed glitches. Suddenly, the screen goes black. Then, a grainy video feed crackles to life. It's shot from a phone. Somewhere, underground. A boiler room? A parking garage? It's hard to tell. But what's clear, what slams into every heart watching, is the face. Seth Rollins. Beard thicker. Hair ragged. Sweat dripping down his brow. The camera shakes as if he's filming it himself. And when he speaks, there's no bravado. No laugh. Just rage simmering beneath restraint. I watched the footage, Paul. I saw it all. You didn't just betray me. You tried to erase me. He steps closer to the lens. But let me remind you of one thing. I don't need the spotlight. I am the damn light. Rollins throws something against a wall, it clatters like metal. It's a replica of the tribunal insignia, now shattered. Then he leans in close. You made a mistake, Paul. You thought this was about revenge. About feelings. No. This is a cleansing. And it starts tonight. The screen cuts to black. In the arena, fans are on their feet. Paul Heyman stammers. Braun Breaker yells something to the back. Bronson Reed starts pacing. Then, boom. Seth Rollins' music hits. The crowd detonates. Chaos erupts. But it's not a traditional entrance. Seth isn't coming down the ramp. No. He's walking through the crowd, hoodie over his head, eyes locked on Heyman. Security rushes to intercept him, but they hesitate. Seth isn't running. He's not trying to sneak in. He's daring someone to stop him. He slides over the barricade. Climbs onto the apron. Stares down Braun and Bronson with zero fear. Then he steps through the ropes and stands just inches from Paul Heyman. The arena goes dead silent. Seth grabs a mic. You stood over my grave before I was cold. Heyman tries to speak, but Seth cuts him off. You built your little kingdom with two men who don't even realize they're pawns. Braun lunges, but Heyman holds him back. Seth continues, you replaced me with muscle. I hope it was worth it. Because muscle breaks, and I don't. Then Rollins does something nobody expects, he drops to his knees. Head bowed. Do it, he says. Finish what you started. Braun Breaker steps forward, but something shifts. The lights cut out. A drumbeat echoes. On the screen, a fire flickers. And a new face appears. Solo Sikoa. But not the Solo from the bloodline. Not Roman's silent enforcer. This Solo is wearing war paint. Hair loose. Shirtless. Tribal necklace hanging from his neck. And when he speaks, the arena goes completely silent. Paul Heyman betrayed his blood once. He'll do it again. The lights return. Solo is now standing on the stage. Flanked by Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Three monsters. United. Rollins is still on his knees, looking up at Heyman. You see, Paul, Seth says, laughing darkly, you didn't break me. You woke me up. And you gave me something better than vengeance. He rises. You gave me allies. Solo, Tonga, and Fatu begin walking down the ramp. Paul Heyman panics, backing away, screaming orders. Braun and Bronson step forward, ready to throw down, but Solo lifts a hand. And everyone freezes. Then Solo speaks, directly to Seth. You want him? Take him. Rollins turns back to Heyman, who stumbles, terrified, and grabs his collar. You were right, Seth whispers. This isn't about revenge anymore. This is about legacy. He slams Heyman to the mat. Braun and Bronson charge, but they're intercepted by Solo's crew. The ring explodes into a brawl. The crowd is losing its mind. Punches, spears, suplexes, carnage everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Seth Rollins climbs the turnbuckle, arms outstretched. Laughing. Triumphant. But not finished. As the bodies settle, Seth grabs the microphone one last time. You thought you were writing my ending. But Paul? I just picked up the pen. It's the following week. WWE Raw has gone off script. Not in the kayfabe sense. Not in this shocking betrayal storyline way. No, this time even the production crew looks rattled. The show was supposed to start with a tag match. But the ring sits empty. The crowd murmurs in anticipation. Commentary has gone silent. Because something's happening backstage. Security cameras pick up the footage. Raw, unedited, flashing across the Titantron like a scene out of a documentary thriller. Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu are storming the production hallway. No music. No lights. Just fury. Cameramen scatter. Rollins walks ahead, breathing heavily, holding a thick folder in one hand, the same termination clause Heyman held in the ring just a week earlier. His gear is half-zipped, fists taped. But his eyes, they're different now. No longer just driven by anger, they're obsessed. He stops at the final door. The locker room marked, Heyman, Tribunal. Rollins nods once. Solo Sikoa steps forward and kicks the door clean off its hinges. Inside, chaos erupts. Paul Heyman screams as Braun Breaker lunges at Solo. Bronson Reed tries to throw a punch at Jacob Fatu but gets tackled into a wall. Chairs fly. Security rushes in, but no one can stop what's happening. Tama Tonga lifts a steel pipe and slams it against Braun's back with a sickening crack. Solo rams Bronson through the locker stall. It's war, claustrophobic, violent, personal. And through it all, Rollins walks calmly toward Paul Heyman, who's now crawling backward, hands raised, glasses hanging crooked off his nose. Please, Heyman whimpers. You got your moment. Don't do this. Seth crouches, face inches from his. You think this is a moment? He whispers. He opens the folder. Inside is a contract. A brand new one. Raw isn't yours anymore, Paul. You lost the show, and you lost your leverage. Seth tosses the papers onto Heyman's chest. I just signed the executive override with Triple H. Heyman's breath catches. No. Oh yes, Seth interrupts. Effective immediately, your tribunal is disbanded. Your backstage privileges are revoked. And as for Roman Reigns? He has 48 hours to respond. Or he's stripped of everything. Cut to commercial. When Raw returns, the ring is surrounded by armed security. Not kayfabe security, real ones. Local cops. Off-duty military contractors. This isn't part of the show. Something is wrong. Michael Cole is speechless. We're being told by officials that a corporate injunction has been filed against Paul Heyman. The paperwork was rushed through by WWE Legal moments ago. In the ring, Seth Rollins stands flanked by Solo and Fatu. No smiles. No pyro. No wild outfits. Just war. He holds the mic low. Then brings it to his lips. Roman, he begins. You've had your time. You disappeared for nearly a year. Left your family to fall apart. Let Heyman run wild. Let me believe I was building something with a man who, in reality, was still your puppet. He steps forward. But I'm not interested in your bloodline. I'm not interested in your excuses. I'm interested in justice. The crowd listens in dead silence. You took everything from me once. My shield. My legacy. My belief in something real. He lifts his hand. Solo passes him the money in the bank briefcase. But now, I have this. And here's the deal. Seth looks directly into the camera. You don't show up by Friday Night SmackDown? I cash this in, not for a title, but for your position. I will stand in the center of that ring, and I will declare myself the new tribal chief. The crowd roars. Gasps. Cheers. Shock. People are standing in disbelief. But if you do show up? Seth says. Then let's settle it. You. Me. No bloodline. No tribunal. No Heyman. He pauses. Just Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins, one last time. He drops the mic. Solo and Fatu raise their fists beside him. Raw fades out in total silence. No commentary. No outro music. Just the looming threat of a battle that feels less like a wrestling match and more like a reckoning for everything the bloodline ever built. It's Friday Night SmackDown. But this isn't just another Friday night. This is the calm before the storm. Or at least, that's what the WWE Universe thought. The lights are dimmed. The show opens not with fireworks or fanfare, but with a blackout. The silence is suffocating. And then, Roman Reigns' music hits. But there's no chorus of cheers or boos. No pyro. Just stunned disbelief. The crowd doesn't even know how to react. Because this isn't the Roman Reigns we remember. He walks out alone. No Paul Heyman. No bloodline. No gold around his waist. No acknowledgement in his eyes. Just a black hoodie. Gloves on. Hair tied back. And a cold, unrelenting stare. He steps onto the ramp, then stops. Looks around the arena slowly, methodically. Then, speaks. No microphone. His voice is picked up by the overhead boom as he talks quietly, yet every word cuts like a blade. You think this is about titles? About who sits at the head of the table? He steps closer to the camera. This is about legacy. And legacy doesn't need to scream. He climbs the steps. Enters the ring. And finally, grabs a mic. I saw what you did, Seth, Roman says, staring into the lens like he's speaking to the soul of the WWE Universe. You turned Raw into your battleground. You burned your bridges and now you want to build a throne on the ashes. The crowd begins to murmur. Something is coming. But here's the problem, Roman continues. You forgot who taught you to burn in the first place. He removes his hoodie slowly. And underneath it, his chest bears something new. A Samoan war tattoo has been extended across his ribs. A tribute to the elders. A reminder that Roman Reigns is no longer just a champion, he's the living embodiment of his ancestry. You think I vanished? Roman asks. No. I ascended. Suddenly, Seth Rollins' music hits. The crowd erupts as he walks out, confident, almost casual, but his face betrays the truth, this isn't a game to him anymore. He steps through the curtain, briefcase in hand, microphone already live. I don't care what gods you pray to, Roman, Seth spits. You broke the code. You watched Heyman gut me from the inside out and said nothing. He walks to the ring. Slowly. No music now. Just boots on steel. But you didn't just betray me, he says. You abandoned everyone who believed in you. He climbs into the ring and stands face to face with the tribal chief. The tension is unbearable. You want to talk legacy? Seth snarls. Legacy is what happens when you stop running and face what you left behind. Roman steps forward. Closer. Legacy, he whispers, is earned in silence. In sacrifice. In blood. Then, he nods. The lights flicker. And suddenly, Paul Heyman appears on the Titantron, live, from an undisclosed location. He's disheveled. Hiding in a dark hotel room. Holding what looks like a legal document. I tried to protect both of you, Heyman says, almost pleading. But the board has made its decision. As of tonight, the next man to make a move, any move, forfeits his claim to the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. The crowd gasps. Rollins and Reigns glance at each other. Then, boom. The lights explode into chaos as Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed hit the ring out of nowhere, ambushing both men. Chair shots. Stomps. Destruction. The tribunal is back. And this time, they're not taking orders from Heyman. Backstage, cameras catch Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga watching from a monitor. Solo slowly turns to his crew. Now, he says. They storm toward the ring. The crowd can't believe what they're seeing. 3 factions, 1 ring, no alliances, just carnage. And in the middle of it all, Seth and Roman, beaten, bloodied, crawling toward each other, not to fight, but to stand together, for the first time in years. The screen glitches, CM Punk's face appears, smirking. Looks like the tribal chief and the visionary need a savior, he laughs, black screen. The words appear, next week. All hell breaks loose. Fade in. Monday Night Raw. No intro. No music. Just immediate chaos. Security is tripled. Officials look visibly panicked. Commentary is already mid-sentence as the screen jolts to life. Footage rolls from just hours ago, grainy CCTV angles catching an unauthorized vehicle smashing through the backstage garage door. Out steps CM Punk. No security escort. No announcement. He walked into the building like he owned it. Because maybe now, he does. Cut to live broadcast. The ring is surrounded by 3 teams of WWE security and uniformed police officers. In the center, 2 battered warriors stand, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Bruised from Friday. Unified by necessity. But neither says a word. Their alliance, if it can even be called that, is forged in war, not trust. And then, cult of personality hits. The crowd goes feral. CM Punk steps through the curtain, not in a hoodie, not in a suit. But in wrestling boots, taped fists, and a Chicago flag stitched across his jacket. The voice of rebellion has returned. But this time, he didn't come to fight alone. He walks with a purpose, mic already hot in his hand. Well, Punk begins, circling the ring. What do we have here? Two messiahs of violence, finally looking human again. The crowd pops. Punk paces outside the ring like a shark in shallow water. You both spent years tearing each other apart. Burning everything you touched. Titles. Trust. Blood. And now you need each other? He stops. And I'm supposed to believe you're doing this for justice? He laughs, bitter and loud. No. You're doing it because someone worse is coming. The arena hushes. Roman raises a mic, his tone low, deliberate. We're not here to explain ourselves to you, Punk. Say.